Yeah, welcome back here to the budget-friendly grow-on system I'm working on. Today I'm going to fit the UV on the EasyPod and try to show you or mess up or whatever. I have ordered one of those, call it holders for the UV, the cheap Chinese UV. If I remember correctly, it's the 13 watt. Yep. So just one cheap Chinese UV. I got the idea from Keeping It Coy's channel. I think he used one of those at some point, or is still using on his grow-on system. And also a big shout out to Steve on your comment on the last video, part 3, about the fish feeder. I'm definitely going to have a look into those suggestions from you. So thank you, mate. Yeah, but the first job, get the EasyPod outside and then drill a hole. So yeah, stay tuned. Yeah, now we're outside. The EasyPod is outside. What I've done is flip you around. I put on some tape, measured out roughly where it's going to go. And why am I using tape? For 2 reasons. It's much easier to make a mark on plastic if you have some tape on it, and also for when I'm drilling, I find it easier if the drill has something to hold on to. If you have tried to drill in plastic, you will know the drill can move around fairly easy because of the smooth surface, as well as on cladding and in the shower and stuff like that. If you're hanging anything up in the shower or in the bathroom where you have tiles or something on the walls, use some tape. It's just the normal tape you also use when you're painting or something like that. So it works. What I've done, I have one of those cheap hole saws. I measured out that this one is 55 mil, so I'm using the 56 mil, but it has a fairly large drill. So I'm going to pre-drill it with a 4 mil and then afterwards putting this one on. And I absolutely hate those ones, but they were cheap and we are on a budget. That went easy. Now for this. Cross the fingers. Don't get caught. There we have it. So now I'm just going to smooth off the edges with some sandpaper or a Stanley knife or something like that. If any of you guys have seen Football Factory, you know Stanley. I'll get back to you. Yep, I found Stanley or something like it. Remove the tape. Or try to remove the tape. Yeah, and I'm just going to use the knife to smooth off a bit of the edges around here. Yeah, you don't want to see that. We'll get back to it when I'm fitting it. Yep. Now we have a hole. I put on some bathroom sanitation silicone. Just, I thought it was a little bit wobbly. So, yeah. Belt and braces. So now we're just going to try and fit the UV. You can see there's a slide where the UV should fit. Then the second part. So like so. Little tip, use some dishwashing soap and water when you're working with silicone. It's much easier to work with them. Let me turn you around. So, there we have it. And yeah, don't know if you can see the manufacturer. It's this one, yeah. That went a bit shaky. Yeah, that went in fairly easy. So yeah, let me get it back in the shed and I will get back to you. Yeah, that went pretty easy, or fairly easy. Only little issue I did have was the hole saw. As I mentioned, it is one of those cheap ones. I'm not a fan. If you have the money for the more professional ones, do that. When it says 56 mil, it is, let's say, roughly. I measured it, it was 2 mil off. So it was in the right slots, and also, yeah, that's a different story. Use, if you have the opportunity, use the more, yeah, professional ones. The easy pot is ready. Some of you may say, "Oh, the UV is too close to the media and it's going to kill off the beneficial bacteria and stuff." Yeah, probably on one side of the Easy Pod it will. But remember, there's going to be hopefully 50-60 liters of K1 moving in this tub or this bin. So yeah, that should be sufficient. In the last video I mentioned those baby towsai from a dealer in Roskilde, about 1 hour away from Næstved, where I'm living. He had some, those baby towsai in 8 to 12 cm from Odercan. I had a talk with another dealer here on Zealand, and he have some Yamazaki towsai in, what was it, 12 to 15 cm. A different price, of course, due to the size difference. But I am looking into it. What would you suggest, Odercan or Yamazaki, also known as Yamasan, I think? I've seen some videos with Evo visiting Yamasan, so it looks like a nice place, but he apparently has a focus on butterfly koi, and I am absolutely not into butterfly koi. That's an American thing, I guess. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on both Odercan and Yamazaki. And one more thing before we close this video. How can I put it? In Denmark, as in a lot of European countries, or at least in the EU, there are some restrictions in what medication you can buy in certain countries. And in Denmark, the rules are pretty rough, or too rough. That's my opinion. For instance, we cannot buy PP, or we can in like what is it? Like pharmaceuticals, and it's for taking care of something health-wise, but it has some different concentrations and those. But the question is, when I fill this vat up with those roughly 2,000 liters, and by the way, I have bought a water meter, so I know exactly how much water there's going to be in this entire system, but my guess is just around 2,000 liters, maybe a bit lower. But now the question, would you put salt in the water, both for, you know, the new pond syndrome, but also against parasites? What is your experience with salt and parasites? Because I have no PP couldn't find it anywhere that would send PP to my country. Yeah. So what is your experience with salting up? As soon as the fish are in, put it to 0.3, 4, but probably 3. Yeah. But yeah, stay tuned on the channel for more updates on this budget-friendly grow-on. It is, I think it's still on a budget. I know I bought the light new. It was expensive, but as you can see, there isn't much daylight coming in here. So yeah, wouldn't buy for a certain amount of money fish, and they will lose their penny. So yeah, I think we're still on a budget, not like certain other budget-friendly grow-on projects I have seen on YouTube. Yeah, but if you want more, subscribe, leave a comment, and most important, have a nice day.